Talkin Cougars is presented by Flat Stick Pub. Local craft beer, old school fun, memorable moments. Welcome to Talkin Cougars. I'm former Washington State quarterback Alex Brink, here with my, can I say favorite receiver, Michael Bumpus, and we are fired up. It is football, Bump. We are here. Week 1 is upon us. Fort Collins, Colorado is where the Washington State Cougars are headed this Saturday to play the CSU Rams. And I tell you what, man, it's week 1. Anything can happen. Throw out the record books from last year, because you don't know what you're going to get in week 1 when you play a new opponent. And Colorado State, they weren't great last year, Bump, but that doesn't mean anything heading into this game. I really think for Washington State, that focus has to be there. Colorado State is a team that is rebuilding under head coach Jay Norvell, who came over from Nevada last year. He's a great football coach. He's a great offensive mind. They brought in a ton of transfers. And that's what's going to make it tough for Washington State, because you're kind of preparing maybe for a little bit of a different team than you saw last year in Pullman. And most importantly, you got to go on the road in week 1, which is tough.
It's that week 1 mystery. Let me go back, though. You can call me your favorite receiver, but I think Jay Hill and B. Gibb might have some feelings about that. But it's all good. I'll take that. But, man, you're right. It's the mystery of week 1, right? You're looking at film from when coaches at his previous school and saying, okay, I think this is what they like to do. I think this is what they're going to do, but you don't really know. You're going to look at that offense. We know they're going to pass the football around. I think schematically it's going to be a challenge for WSU, but personnel-wise, they should be okay. But, I remember playing in week 1. We had a week 1 against Auburn one year, week 1 against, I believe, Wisconsin another year. And you're watching the film and you're saying, okay, who's going to be here? Who's not going to be here? How are they going to use this talent? You really don't know. So that first drive is going to be crucial. You got to go out there and check your coverages, check the gaps, and make sure everything is aligned. But that's the excitement about week 1, because anybody can get it, really. It's all a mystery.
Yeah, there's no doubt. And let's take a look at our Coug Spotlight, presented by Cougs First. Think Cougs First for products, services, and hiring. The spotlight for me, Bump, is going to be on that defense for Washington State, because they're playing the air raid. And it's one of the pure air raids still in the country, run by Matt Mumme, the offensive coordinator, son of Hal Mumme, who created the air raid. And Bump, after watching the air raid under Mike Leach for all those years, the way Washington State did it, how effective that offense can be. They're going to stretch you sideline to sideline. They're going to create space for their playmakers to be in one-on-one tackles, out in the open field, and that ball's going to get out of the hands of the quarterback quickly. And they got a good one. And I know you know him well, Bump, and I can't wait to hear what you think about him. But with that air raid under Clay Millen, that ball's going to come out fast, and it's going to be super effective. The Washington State defense has got to be locked in week 1, because that scheme can be so tough to play against.
Yeah, it can be tough, and if you rep it enough, it can become predictable as well. I think we remember it kind of being predictable at times. So that secondary, if you can recognize down and distance, formation, route combinations, that will allow you to break on the football, but then you got to be aware of the double moves. Something that I'm looking at as well, B, is that this is a program that's in transition. A lot of guys were not here. I believe they operated on 60 scholarships last year. Coach come in, he cleans house. He's got about 80 to 83 scholarships now. So you have this scheme matched up with a whole bunch of new guys. I would assume that the fan base over there is excited for Colorado State, right? There's a lot of change going on. But yeah, when it comes to the air raid, man, it's about play recognition, knowing where you are on the field, believing what you're seeing, and breaking on the football. And I think we got some guys on the back end who can break on that ball and make plays when the ball is tossed around.
Yeah, the defense is going to be absolutely locked in, has to be. But the guy that's really got to be locked in, we're going to talk to him coming up next. That's Cam Ward, quarterback for Washington State.
Talkin Cougars is presented by Flat Stick Pub. This cameo is presented by Valley Buick GMC. See you in the Valley. Now I'm joined with starting quarterback Cam Ward. Cam, the last time I saw you, it was in Vegas. It was Pac-12 Media Days, and a lot has changed. Has anything changed for you, your day-to-day, when it comes to just your workout and your focus and how you approach the season, knowing that it might be the last season of the Pac-12?
A lot of change for me. I've been able to get probably way more football in now compared to the summer. Everyone in the team has a lot more motivation now that it's game week. So the building's brewing right now. We ready for Saturday to come.
When it comes to Saturday, it's your second opening season with WSU and the Cougars. How do you feel? Are you more calm, more confident coming into this season? How does last year compare to this year?
I feel it's a big difference for me. Obviously, with the new OC, Coach Arbuckle, I feel like he's gonna transition my skill sets to his offense tremendously. What he's done for me for the past 10 months that he's already been here, along with Coach Kuz, another quarterback coach in our room. I feel like a lot of people's gonna see the dividends that Coach Dickert made at the hire at OC. I know for offense, we're all excited to go see what we can do come week one.
Man, I got a chance to go to your spring game, and I was interested to see how you adjusted to your new receivers, right? You got a new group in, some familiar faces, but some new faces. And y'all seem pretty tight, man. How easy was it for you to get tight with these receivers and build that chemistry?
It was easy. It was easy for me. We all come from different backgrounds. We're all from across a different country. But I got some dogs in that receiving room for sure. From the returner I have from Lincoln, the new transfers, Kyle, Kales, and DT, they are some dogs. I feel like the biggest thing that's going to separate them with the other receivers in the country is that they want it each and every day. They come in, whether it's work in the training room, weight room, or on the football field, or in the film room. Those three guys are coming in ready to work each and every day, and they just gonna make my job easier this year.
That's awesome, man. And the run game is going to be nice too, man. How does the run game help you? I think people they think of Washington State or think of West Coast football and they think of throwing the football all across the yard, which I know we like to do. But what about Nikhil Watson and the rest of those guys in the backfield? What gets you excited about the RB room?
Just the journey that made, especially with Jalen Jenkins, the freshman from last year. He's put on so much more weight. He's bigger, he's stronger, he's faster. He's been great the whole spring camp, fall camp through blitz protections. That was something that we wanted to get better with him going into this season. Nakia is our big back. He's gonna get a majority of the load this season. But we're excited to get those two guys. They're gonna take majority of the snaps this year, and I know those two guys are ready for a breakout season.
Man, you've been an underdog your whole career, right? And then you come to Washington State, you make a name for yourself last year, but this year it still feels like we're underdogs. And me personally, I don't mind that position. How do you guys feel about that? Do you guys like being underdogs? Do you embrace that?
When you're underdogs, you got nothing to lose, man. You just get to go out there and play football, have fun with what you love doing. So, we like being in that position. We look into every week, we're supposed to lose every game. Either it might be some games where they have us pick to win. So, we just always keep that chip on our shoulder. Everyone who's in our program has had some type of journey to get to Washington State, whether they were 4 or 3-star out of high school or they had to go JUCO, take the JUCO route. So, all of us have something to prove. Each and everyone's ready for Colorado State. And I know, come September 2nd, y'all go see what the Cougs going to do.
When you look at this team and you think of the things you did well last year and the things you feel you need to get better at this year, what sticks out to you?
For myself, I'd probably say winning from the pocket. I have a good ability to extend plays whenever I need to, but I feel like as where I want to get my football journey, I have to be able to win from the pocket. So that was a big focus for me, whether it was along my footwork or going through progressions better.
Man, people don't realize the grind that you guys go through, man. That summertime is nothing nice. Now you're towards the end of the summer. You're starting to see the light at the end of the tunnel. How excited is this team to get out there week one, and what should we expect?
You should expect the fast-paced, cool team. The defense gonna always be the same defense that you've been seeing for the last couple of years, from Sam Lockett, the new transfers. We have a linebacker, D. Rich, KT there, Ahmad McCullough, and even Shaw Smith Wade, one of our best corners on the team. Lampkin is also gonna be able to make plays for us at corner. So the defense, they're gonna do our job. I believe everyone just stick to the script, not to do too much, stay inside their game plan. I feel like both sides of the ball, including special teams, will have a big day first game.
Man, I don't want to put you on the spot, but I love again, underdog stories, right? We're Cougs, we're underdogs, but there's always like a walk-on or a freshman that no one really talks about, you know what I'm saying, that makes some noise during training camp and during the season. Is there a name you want to put out there and let the nation know, look, watch out for this dude?
I wouldn't say he's a walk on. He's a transfer we have. He didn't get a lot of hype because he was hurt during spring ball. But I'd say Isaiah Hamilton is one of our receivers. He had a great summer, great fall camp. He's going to be able to make tremendous plays for us this entire year. I know he's ready for a big season. He transferred from San Jose State last year. And that's someone that was really caught my eye as he's first got here, and he's came with no excuses each and every day. Just wanted to come and work.
There we go. There it is. Hey, I'm going to leave you with this, man. Anything you want to put out there to Coug Nation, man? You're the leader. You're the general under center. Last words, man. It's all yours.
Buy those tickets for Wisconsin, man. We got a Big Ten matchup coming through, so we need that stadium loud and packed.
All right, there it is. That's Cam Ward, starting quarterback for your Washington State Cougars, man. Appreciate you.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you.
Talkin Cougars is presented by Flat Stick Hub. Man, that was awesome to have Cam on there. QB1 showing up on Talkin Cougars, Bump.
Yeah, only on the second episode, right? And we're not done with Cam. We're going to have him throughout the season. He'll give us some behind-the-scenes type look. I'm excited for Cam. And, man, we're just getting started.
Yeah, man, and we got to look at some key matchups in this Colorado State game. It's time for Talkin' Numbers, presented by Cross Country Mortgage, making every mortgage feel like a win. Key matchup I'm looking at, Bump, is the Washington State running backs, if you can believe it, against the Colorado State defense that last year gave up over 160 yards against the rush. I tell you what, Nikhil Watson, Jalen Jenkins, and a name that maybe you haven't heard, Javensky Schlembaker, could have big days against this Colorado State Ram defense. I really feel like a rebuilt offensive line, a commitment to the running game from Ben Arbuckle and his version of the air raid could lead to great balance for this Coug offense.
Yeah, well, you need balance, right? You want to be able to throw the football. That's why you got Cam in the game. You want to be able to run it. Cam even mentions those names in that interview that we just had, man. So he's excited about the run game as well. I'm looking at the Colorado State quarterback, Clay Millen, local kid, went to Mount Si High School. He completed 72% of his passes last year. You know they're going to throw the ball all across the yard, but here's the kicker. He was also sacked over 50 times, the most sacked quarterback in college football last year. So this D-line has to get after the quarterback. There's going to be opportunities because of what we mentioned. You got a young quarterback and you have an offense that loves to throw the football. That's going to present a lot of opportunities. When your quarterback is around 50 sacks for the season, you know this defensive line is looking at that number and saying, okay, we got an opportunity to really change the identity of the game. We're talking about running the football. We're talking about getting after the quarterback. There's two things that are consistent in ball. If you can run it, you control the clock. If you can get after the quarterback, you control the game. I like those 2 points.
Yeah, and I don't want to speak from experience or anything as a young quarterback that gets sacked on occasion, but if those defensive linemen start getting after you early in a game, I tell you what, Bum, it can really, really throw you off. Your eyes start going from on the defense to down at that defensive line because you're just afraid they're going to get on you that fast. And so you're dead right. If that Washington State defensive line, as good as they are, Brendan Jackson, RJ Stone, Quinn Roth, if they can get after Clay Millen, boy, they can make it a long day for that young quarterback.
Yeah, and imagine a young quarterback feeling pressure all the time. You're looking at the receivers. As a slot receiver, I'm looking and I feel the pressure myself. I remember seeing 2 linebackers flying the A and the B gap and having to look at you right now for a hot and saying, my boys got to get the ball out as quickly as possible because these dudes are going after them. And that's how you disrupt the air raid. The air raid is about rhythm and consistency. Getting to that back foot, throwing the football on time, receivers being where they're supposed to be. You disrupt that rhythm when your quarterback is not able to get to that back foot. If he doesn't have a clean pocket, and like you mentioned, his eyes are going down, right? Good quarterbacks or quarterbacks that are comfortable keep their eyes down the field, excuse me, and they're able to make plays. So let's disrupt the rhythm. Let's change the dance that Clay Millen's doing back there because if you don't, he's shown he can be extremely accurate. And let's not forget, the kid can run too. So keep him in the pocket, corral him, gang tackle, words that we're used to hearing in our football career.
Absolutely. You reminded me of something too, Bump. I said you were my favorite receiver over those other guys. It's because you were always in the right spot. That's why. That's why you were my favorite receiver. All love to Jay Hill and Brandon Gibson and all the other guys. Coming up next, we're going to take a look at our best bet of who's going to make an impact for this Washington State team against Colorado State.
Talkin Cougars is presented by Flat Stick Pub.
It's week 1. Anything can happen.
Really, it's all a mystery.
They're going to stretch you sideline to sideline.
You really don't know.
They're going to create space.
It's the mystery of week 1.
That focus has to be there.
Because anybody can get it.
Man, that was awesome. That's why you were my favorite.
It's all good. I'll take that. Time now for our best bet, brought to you by Northern Quest Resort and Casino, the largest casino in the Northwest. We gotta talk about these impact players, B. Which guys do we expect to have their hands all over this game? The easy pick is to go with the quarterbacks. You can look at Millen and say, all right, if he completes 72% of his passes, he'll be good to go. You can look at Cam and say, if he protects the football, he will be good to go. But I'm looking at 2 guys, all right? I'm looking at Wims and Kelly. Both of these guys are transfers from the Mountain West. And they're going to be asked to fill the roles of some guys. You lose Stribling, you lose Ollie last year, and a couple guys also graduate. So you have to be able to support Cam Ward in his development. How do you support him? You be where you're supposed to be, right? We talked about how receivers are supposed to be, where they're supposed to be, and make these plays. And I'm excited to see what they do. Kelly had 3 plays over 60 yards last year, 3 plays over 60. So you know that he has that explosiveness in him. And when we talk about timing and rhythm, you really depend on these receivers in the quick game. I think that's going to be part of the development of Cam too, is being able to be on time and get the ball to these guys. You don't have to go for the deep ball shot. Now, you reserve the right to do so, but when you're able to hit on what I call the color plays, right? We used to run our quick game, red, orange, gold, get the ball out quick, pre-snap.
You're taking me back to 2006.
Right, gold, B, red. Red. I still use those colors today in my offenses. So quick game, and that's going to open everything up, and you got to depend on these young receivers.
Yeah, and another guy to add in there, you talk about quick game, new slot receiver, junior college transfer, DT Sheffield. He's going to replace the Renard Bell in the slot, right? He's going to be that guy that's going to be the speed to burn, the Michael Bumpus in the slot, and he's going to add to Williams and Josh Kelly and all those guys out there as far as new faces. You're right, those receivers are going to play a big role. You mentioned it earlier, though, for me, I tell you what, it's got to be those defensive backs for Washington State, because they're going against a good quarterback in Clay Millen. They're going against that air raid offense that we talked about. And honestly, Washington State's secondary is a strength for this team. They've got great safeties. Jaden Hicks, the young safety who made such an impact, freshman All-American last year, now in his second year, he's going to be all over the field. Shaw Smith-Wade is a lockdown corner. You have to have it in the Pac-12. You have to have it against good passing teams, and Washington State does. Those 2 guys, and then a new name, Kapena Gushikin. He's the new nickel. He's coming in to replace the veteran Armani Marsh. He's going to have to play in space. He's going to have to be the one tackling out there on those slot receivers, covering guys downfield, making plays in the screen game. I think those 3 guys, those defensive backs, are going to have a big day. And if they do, Washington State's defense is going to be able to control this Colorado State offense.
Yeah, I agree. An offense that only scored 13 points per game last year, right? Again, we talk about the mystery of week 1. Who are you going to be? We want them to be the guys that we saw last year, only scoring 13 points per game. On the other side, they gave up around 27 points per game. So you look at those numbers, and I think if you are on this roster, you're one of the playmakers, you're saying, all right, let's make Colorado State be exactly who they are. And how you do that? You depend on that back end. You start with the pressure up front, and then offensively, you are as efficient as possible. You have to be good on third downs. Colorado gave up about 43% when it comes to their opponents converting on third downs. I like that number for the Cougs. If we can get that to about 50%, that's going to be a great day. That means you're sustaining drives. That means you're creative with your playmaking. That means that Cam is in complete control. But we all know to win games, it all starts with the defense. In the past few years, WSU's had one of the best defenses in the Pac-12. So let's keep the good times rolling. Make them be the guys that we think they are, and we continue to improve. I'm feeling pretty confident about this, but you know how this game goes. Anybody can get it. You know how it goes.
Yeah, right, we said off top, week 1, you don't know. You got to find a way to bring the juice. You're going on the road. You have to travel, right? You got to go to Fort Collins. You got to go to Mountain West School. and you are coming in, you're supposed to be the big dog. So how do you handle that challenge, right? That's part of what Washington State, that's part of what Jake Dickert is going to preach from the top down. The senior leaders are going to preach right when they go in there. But there's going to be a ton of excitement. There's going to be a ton of juice. And when there is a ton of excitement and a ton of juice, the key for me is, are you able to protect the football offensively? Because if you have turnovers on the road, then what ends up happening is you give that team a lot of excitement. You give them the momentum. So you talked about it, rush the passer. I think you got to protect the football, and you got to bring that energy when you're on the road. And we're going to find out if this Washington State Cougars team for 2023 is ready to play. Week 1, we are here, Bump. We made it. I tell you what, I cannot wait to see this Washington State football team step on the field this Saturday, the 2023 version. We're going to find out who they are. And it is here. It is Cougar Football Saturday upon us. I cannot wait. If you want to hear more from me, you can find me on Twitter @AlexBrink10. I will be on the call with Matt Chasnow, the voice of the Cougs, sideline reporter Jessamine McIntyre on the Cougar Sports Radio Network. You can hear us live on Saturday for the game. Coug fans, thank you for being with us.
Yeah, man, it's time to go. Week 1, it gets real. No more scrimmages, no more walkthroughs, man. You're going to line them up, strap it up, and get ready to go. Can Cam Ward improve? What's his defense going to look like? New receivers there. Man, 2023 is looking great. You know where you can find Alex throughout the week. You can find me on Seattle Sports 710 from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. every single day, Monday through Friday. It's the Bump and Stacy Show. Twitter handle is Michael Bumpus 5. Coug Nation, episode 2, Talkin Cougars. It's a wrap. Holla at y'all next week.